my guys? Lindsay Yale, welcome back to another Debating Theory. Today is going to be kind of weird because not only has it been like around a year since I've started doing this, but also we're throwing in a little twist to this with comparing it to another, well, not actually, just another next show, Night Squad, and well, let me just lay this into two parts, so, because my idea for the 11th one was like, nah, it's probably too difficult for me to do, but I also think I have a lot of information written down here to be too long for it to be one video, so, yeah, that part 2 should be out in May, so, without further ado, let's get into this. So, it's been close to a year since the first episode of Debating Theory. We're kind of going back to the roots there with the whole two-team mechanics, basically with like LuPat versus Pat Ranger, and Night Squad does follow a two-team mechanic, except unlike the previous ones where it was mainly three-team mechanics, this is teams of 4 instead. Also, it's a very diverse show, which is very good because, like, again, Power's been very diverse since the beginning, but divide this up into a few different groups. So we have characters, plot mechanics, and then next time we gain more into villains and overall cast and crew and character chemistry on the show. So first off, kind of get into detail about Ark. He's our newbie, our rookie, like Sakura and Pat Ranger, because I think they do mention, because as you can see in flashbacks, Tsukasa and Chiro have been working. They went to police school together, right? I'm gonna call it police school, and so pretty much now that they've, and I think also Tsukasa says that he's a rookie. I think he also mentioned that he is actually a rookie in like his Spotlight episode, or is it the episode where he got stuck in the gum? I don't know. It was like one of those episodes where they mentioned that Ciara and Sage are both the leaders of their squads in this series, which is like, Sage is kind of like the Charlie. It's kind of like the Charlie because she's like evil, and then Ciara, she's kind of like Lauren, because technically she is also the princess, so she is kind of royal, kind of like more like Karoshiba? If I'm saying that wrong, please correct me in the comments, please. But yeah, she's also very tomboyish. Again, reminds me of like definitely like a lot of these more earlier characters that I grew up with: Tori, Kira, Z. Definitely a lot of those more early Disney era Rangers I can think of. For that, Warwick, he's actually a magician. He got his magic in the 4th episode, just like Preston in Ninja Steel, which is kind of, I don't know if that was a coincidence or what, but yeah, he also would probably serve as comic relief for the team. He also has a crush on the princess, so I think about it, like in the past, like a lot of their comic relief has also been, they're definitely like racing like Bridge and Calvin. But also, if you look back at like Zach and Joel, you know I'm getting at. And then Warwick's younger brother Fizwick, both of them are actually descended from Knights, or they're a 3rd generation Knights. Fizwick's too young to go into Knight School itself, but he does serve as like, kind of reminds me of Ghost Strikers, because he's impartially sometimes is working with his brother and the Phoenix Squad, but he's definitely seen a lot more with Buttercup and Kraken Squad. And Good Strikers share between the two teams for like final attacks and the mecha form, which is kind of interesting. I think that's the first time where there's actually a Mechazord needed for a series. He's also the youngest of the cast, or character. At least the characters, he's only 10. I've also mentioned that Sage is kind of like an evil rogue, and she's also kind of like Shiro Ichose, because both of them take characters that have been bullied under their wing, like get to that in a second, but Sage probably is more like more of a stronger leader, more compared to Iku of Hurricane than Hunter of Ninja Storm. Because there's definitely more of a dynamic of role seen in that compared to Hunter and Blake, even though both of them are brothers. Iko and his brother are actual twins, but Hunter and Blake are adopted brothers who are now orphans. I think they're also orphans in Hurricane. Yeah. But also, main thing is that Buttercup probably got Blake says like she does kind of get a little annoying, like Spike after a while, but yeah, kind of did remind me of Yumika a bit, because Yumika kind of gets bullied for her style, but Sage kind of pretty much takes Buttercup under her wing mainly because everyone hates Sage in the first place. So yeah, and I do feel that in the previous episode, doing Night, then they come off as more like a Bulk and Skull duet than I think they do in past episodes. But that might be because they're teaching kids, and there was one brief time where Bulk and Skull did become police officers, and Bulk did teach Spike and Skull's son Spike in Samurai and Super Samurai. So they might be getting that from there. So very feminine in comparison to the other three core women. Prudence is also including Prudence in that she is she's part giant. Her uncle was going to be the first giant knight, but stepped on his teacher's foot, so he got kicked out, and now Prudence is trying to fulfill that destiny type of deal. Continuing on down the list is Gareth as their mentor. I feel like he's more like Tommy than Sage, even though Sage is kind of evil, and her mom, Saffron, definitely can be to blame. Both of them are very good characters and actors, I tell you. But as I mentioned, I think it's like it's a Griffin's talent, I think, that goes on Gareth's eye patch. That's how Saffron, which is Sage's mom, gets him into falling in love with her and doing whatever she wants. And then the king is kind of like the boss's boss. We definitely see that more in Do the Night Thing, because he's like has a pizza, but yeah, like the pizza, and like Gareth's like, yeah, I'm not sharing this with you, Gareth, yada yada. But now, like, the idea of the schools does kind of remind me of Jungle Fury, Geki Ranger, just a tad, because both kind of are respective martial arts. Jungle Fury and Geki Ranger is more like, the Asian martial arts compared to Night's Watch is obviously the European side of things. So even though it's not like it's kind of comparing it to like how that plot goes, that like would Sage kill Gareth and went so mad, Ark, Sierra, and Warwick must stop her. But instead of Night Squad, Sage gets knighted in a way. Like, she tried to get knighted because Phoenix Librarian said Gareth can't be in love with Saffron because Saffron is Sage's mom and Sage is still a student. So he's like, I'm going to make her a knight so that rule no longer applies. Type of, that's kind of interesting, I'd say. Way to get out of that. Even though, like, the whole, we haven't really, we've heard Riker be mentioned, but not really much beyond that. However, I doubt there are any characters related to Riker, even though there was an idea for the original Hexagon plan, which involved the Red Ranger being the son of who had become Lothor in Ninja Storm, and so it'd be kind of like the opposite of Karone, who was related to the heroes, but was kidnapped. So yeah, it's always kind of like Ninjago in that way, going back to the very, very first DT right now. If you do, you can check that out. Also, they've definitely been pulling all the stops with the guest stars. Like on the last episode, you had Maya Clark from Thundermans. You've had people from other shows that the crew's worked on. Some of the core cast still has friends coming in from those as well, but like the only other major character that we know has announced his actual character name for the show is Jack Griffo. Is gonna be Sir Swayze in the 16th episode. All the Night Moves. I was thinking going a little bit to Night at the Museum. That was originally going. I don't know if that's now confirmed to not be confirmed, or why it's no longer on the wiki for that. But yeah, so another part is that they made Ark from another kingdom, which is Seagate, so he's technically not allowed to be in Nights, which kind of does remind me again about Jack and Z in SPD as they become cadets, like in order to get out. It's a get out of jail free card. Like that wouldn't make much sense in reality, but well, it takes place in 2025 and there's aliens about, so. And shouldn't there be aliens around now if that is actually true? That's the thing. So, obviously different continuities. That's probably one reason, but obviously by the time when part 2 comes around, since we're on a bit of a little break right now for Night Squads, that I Wish I Night will be added, so I might be able to use more of that for the next one, the villains section of the analysis, but who knows? This has been Lindsay Yale, and I'll see you next time.